A multi-state terror plot to attack the White House during the UFC Freedom 250 event foiled, thwarted. The Justice Department announcing that 5 men have been arrested and charged, accused of planning to kill government officials in attendance by deploying drones armed with explosives to then set snipers on the fleeing crowd.
The suspects allegedly conspired via encrypted chat apps and had detailed messages laying out their intent before the feds nabbed them. As for motive, one suspect telling investigators the goal was to target, quote, capitalist elites, billionaires, and politicians who support the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee.
Joining us now, Fox Business contributor and former NYPD inspector, Paul Mauro. Paul, Vice President J.D. Vance was on the 5 earlier, and he did note that this plot was in early stages. And I just wanted to bring up that it was the mother of one of the 19-year-olds charged, Tyson Proper, who alerted the authorities. Without her, God knows.
Yeah, so this case becomes very emblematic of the way these cases go these days because of the fact that essentially the U.S. government lost the encryption war. When I was still working, it was easier through court processes. You had to go to a judge, but you could get a wiretap and things like that in order to look at the communications of people who were over the threshold for investigation. These days, it's much, much harder to get to that level because the communications are encrypted, and in fact, they can't be decrypted even by the companies who own the platform, that is Apple, Google, and some of these apps. And so as a result, it's much harder for law enforcement to get out in front of this stuff. And in our First Amendment society, that's always the challenge, because as law enforcement, you can't just spy on people because you don't like their faces. You have to have enough reasonable suspicion to go to a judge. It's a high bar, and more, you're seeing it come down to this kind of thing. Somebody close who says, you know what, I better speak up.
Mm-hmm. Paul, you know, I'm seeing words in this thing, as we read in the intro, that their goals were to, you know, go kill the billionaires or the capitalist elites. Gosh, where have I heard that kind of rhetoric before? You got a 19-year-old kid who is using graduation money for this. They're coordinating all of this online. It's on one hand, it's so absurd, Paul, and on the other hand, it's so typical of our moment. And I guess I wonder, what do you have to like throw penalties at guys like this so that people who are young and stupid don't even go down that road, Paul? It just seems like a new thing under the sun to me.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You know, when I was heavily involved the majority of my career doing counterterrorism at these levels, federal level, state level, wherever I could make the case, the enemy was outside America. It was Islamist terror for the most part. And if there was somebody here, they were connected generally to a foreign power or Al-Qaeda, ISIS, that kind of thing. Now, it is a homegrown threat inside our borders that has been fomented by, I would argue, a lack of education, a really venal and corrupt teachers union, the whole Marxist narrative. And what's grown up, Brian, is something that has come to be known in counterterrorism circles as the Red-Green Alliance. Red for communism, green for Islamism. And that's really the Islamism portion of that is really just a stand-in for anti-Semitism, anti-Israel. It's cloaked under the guise of Gaza. As I've said on the air before, most of these kids couldn't find Gaza on a map of Gaza. But the left has managed to unify these disparate streams so that they are all under a very, very virulent form of anti-Americanism. That's what they have in common. And from flash to bang is very short. You're seeing them more and more getting weaponized. This case, you're not going to wait until they climb up on the roof with the sniper rifles. They took overt acts. That's the standard, right? They got to take a substantial step for the conspiracy to be closed. They did the surveillance. They had these photographs. They acquired weapons, more than enough. They had probable cause clearly on at least 5 of these guys and expect this case to grow out.
Right, a large quantity of ammunition, rounds of spent cartridge casings, and tactical clothing was found at the home of the son of the mother who reported it. Right. But let's move on to this. Right. Department of Justice charging 15 members of a group called Direct Action Minnesota with conspiracy to target federal immigration enforcement.
This comes after just yesterday in New Jersey, an illegal alien from Peru rammed his van into an ICE agent during a traffic stop. Paul, what do you make of the charges here in Minnesota and this just terrible incident in New Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, these two cases are comparatively adjacent, right? Because they're springing from the same well. Now, 15 people is a nice big case. Why does that matter? Because when you get that many, you got the possibility of flips, you get into their communications, their phones, their computers, you map the network. And what you're going to get to is the all-important funding that we all talk about. This is a drop in the bucket compared to how many people that are out there that look to do this kind of stuff. But by taking 15 and going out from that, you exponentially enlarge the case. Again, this is in the tradecraft of the federal government. The laws are on the books. It's completely legitimate. You're not allowed to target federal officers. And more power to them. If I had the chance to speak to these federal officers and to the prosecutors, I would say no deals. Go all the way until you really, really scrape the bottom of this thing, squeeze all the juice out of this lemon, map that network, because this has gone far enough.
How about some RICO charges, Paul? I don't know if that's was charged.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. If it's coherent enough into a triangle that you can show an organization, do the RICO. And maybe at the top of that RICO, you could put some of these infamous names that we know are overseas that are funding this stuff, Dagan.
Amen. Hallelujah. And love you to the moon and back. And Joni. Paul Mauro.